Welcome to the Truth Chronicles, where we delve into the captivating, often untold stories of the most intriguing figures in entertainment. Today we're thrilled to present an in-depth look into the life and career of one of Hollywood's most iconic comedians, Jim Carrey. From his humble beginnings as a janitor to his meteoric rise in the world of comedy, we're going to cover every twist and turn. You may know him from his blockbuster hits, but do you know the man behind the laughter? The journey wasn't always filled with smiles and laughter, so buckle up and get ready to discover the truth about Jim Carrey, a man who has made the world laugh while battling his own personal demons. Stay tuned, because this is a story you don't want to miss. Did you know that Jim Carrey, one of the most celebrated comedians in Hollywood, actually started his career as a janitor? Yes, you heard it right. Born James Eugene Carrey on a chilly winter day, January 17, 1962, in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada, Carrey's life began humbly. His father, Percy Joseph Carrey, was a dual talent, juggling his roles as a musician and an accountant, while his mother, Kathleen, was a homemaker. He was the youngest of four, with three older siblings, John, Patricia, and Rita. Their home was a simple one, situated in Scarborough's working-class neighborhood. Life was far from glamorous. Financial struggles were an unwelcome but constant companion, especially after his father lost his job as an accountant. The family found themselves relying on welfare for support, a situation that was far from ideal. When Carrey was only 6 years old, tragedy struck the family. His brother John, just 24 at the time, succumbed to a heart attack. The loss was devastating, casting a shadow over the family. Their mother retreated into herself, grappling with depression and grief. In the midst of this turmoil, young Carrey found solace and escape in humor. He began making people laugh, developing impressions and characters that would later become his comedic signature. What started as a coping mechanism soon sparked an interest in comedy, hinting at the successful career that lay ahead. As a teenager, Carrey left school behind in the 11th grade. He took up menial jobs like being a janitor and a security guard to support himself. On the side, he began performing stand-up comedy at local clubs and bars in Toronto, adopting the stage name James. It was here that he started to hone his craft, laying the groundwork for his future success in the world of comedy. So from a young age, Carrey was honing his comedic skills, not knowing that it would one day make him a worldwide sensation. Carrey's journey to stardom was anything but easy. In the early days, our protagonist found himself grappling with the harsh realities of life. As a high school dropout, the traditional pathways to success were closed off to him. The 11th grade had been his last, and he was thrust into the world to fend for himself. But Carrey, resilient as he was, took on the challenge head-on. He found himself in the world of menial labor, working jobs that were far from glamorous. Picture him as a janitor, tirelessly sweeping floors and emptying bins, or as a security guard, standing watch during the lonely, quiet hours of the night. These were not the roles he had envisioned for himself, but they were necessary stepping stones on his path to greatness. But even in these trying times, Carrey found a way to keep his dreams alive. Under the humble stage name of James, he began to perform stand-up comedy in the local clubs and bars of Toronto. His performances were raw and unpolished, but they were honest and they were real. And people began to take notice. As his reputation grew, Carrey made a decision that would change the course of his life forever. With a suitcase full of dreams and his heart filled with hope, he moved to Los Angeles in the early 80s. The city of angels was a far cry from the quiet streets of Scarborough, but Carrey was ready to make his mark. His new home was the Comedy Store, a mecca for aspiring comedians. Here, Carrey continued to hone his craft, pouring his heart and soul into every performance. He was no longer just James from Toronto. He was Jim Carrey, a comedian with a unique voice and an unyielding spirit. Every night on stage was a step closer to his dreams, and Carrey was not one to give up. 1983 was a turning point in Carrey's career, and it all started with a duck. The Duck Factory was a sketch comedy show that marked the beginning of Carrey's journey into mainstream comedy. It was here that Carrey landed his first significant role. Despite the series' short lifespan, it was instrumental in shaping the comedian we know and love today. Carrey found himself rubbing shoulders with future stars like Ellen DeGeneres and Kevin Nealon. The show, a haven for the budding comedian, allowed him to experiment, pushing the boundaries of his comedic style. It was a playground where he could explore the depths of his creativity, developing the offbeat impressions and mannerisms that would later become his signature. In the world of sketch comedy, Carrey was a breath of fresh air. His unique brand of humor, marked by physical comedy and animated expressions, became a defining characteristic of his performances. He was a natural, breathing life into characters that were as unforgettable as they were hilarious. Yet the show was not a commercial success. The Duck Factory, despite its talented ensemble, didn't manage to capture the audience's attention for long. The series was short-lived, but it was far from a failure. For Carrey, it was a stepping stone, a valuable learning experience that would shape his future career. The Duck Factory was a proving ground for Carrey. It was a platform that allowed him to showcase his talent, to experiment and refine his craft. It was here that the world got a glimpse of the comedic genius that lurked beneath the surface. Every great story has a beginning, and for Carrey, the Duck Factory was it. It was the place where he cut his teeth, learned the ropes, and began to understand the nuances of comedy. It was the starting point of a journey that would lead him to become one of the most successful comedians of his generation. The Duck Factory might not have been a hit, but it was the springboard Carrey needed. From a sketch comedy show to a sitcom, Carrey's journey was on an upward trajectory. In the year 1990, Carrey found himself on the set of the sitcom In Living Color, a creation of Keenan Ivory Wayans. Here he was not just another cast member, but a standout performer who added an extra layer of humor to the show. Carrey's talent for creating over-the-top characters was in full swing during this period. He would morph into these characters, displaying an uncanny ability to capture their essence and peculiarities. His impressions ranged from the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, to the king of pop, Michael Jackson, and even the iconic Jack Nicholson. Each character was a testament to Carrey's talent, his versatility, and his commitment to getting every detail right. His performances were so remarkable that they earned him 2 consecutive Emmy Awards for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Variety or Music Program, but his work on In Living Color did more than just win him accolades. It brought him to the attention of Hollywood studios. They saw in Carrey not just a comedian, but an actor with a unique skill set. In 1994, he made his big screen debut with a supporting role in the film Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. The film received mixed reviews, but it was a commercial success, grossing $72 million worldwide. This success solidified Carrey's status as a rising star. Later that same year, Carrey reprised his role as Ace Ventura in The Mask, further cementing his status as a leading man. The film's success propelled him into the higher echelons of Hollywood stardom, securing him roles in successful films like Dumb and Dumber, The Truman Show, Bruce Almighty, and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. With every character he played, Carrey was proving that he was not just a comedian, but a versatile actor. His journey from a working-class neighborhood in Scarborough to the glitz and glamour of Hollywood is a testament to his talent, resilience, and never-give-up attitude. In 1994 was the year that Carrey truly arrived in Hollywood. He made his grand entrance on the big screen with a supporting role in a raunchy teen comedy, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Despite the mixed reviews, the film grossed $72 million worldwide, and just like that, Carrey was a rising star. His zany antics and uncanny ability to morph into his characters were irresistible to audiences. But Carrey didn't stop there. That same year, he donned the iconic green face of The Mask. His performance was a tour de force, blending physical comedy, slapstick, and his unique brand of humor. This role didn't just solidify Carrey's position as a leading man, but it catapulted him into the upper echelons of Hollywood stardom. Riding high on the success of these 2 films, Carrey went on to star in Dumb and Dumber, a comedy that further showcased his comedic range. He played Lloyd Christmas, a character as memorable for his chipped tooth and bowl haircut as for his hilarious one-liners. Carrey continued to shine in the late 90s and early 2000s with a string of successful films, including the critically acclaimed The Truman Show. His portrayal of Truman Burbank, a man unknowingly living in a reality TV show, showcased a dramatic depth that surprised and impressed audiences and critics alike. But it was in the early noughties that Carrey truly cemented his place in Hollywood's comedy pantheon. His performance in Bruce Almighty, where he played a man granted godlike powers, was a box office hit. Then came Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, a film that was as much a romantic drama as it was a comedy. Carrey's performance as Joel Barish showed the world that he was more than just a funny man. He was a versatile actor capable of delivering powerful dramatic performances. From a janitor to a Hollywood star, Jim Carrey's journey is a testament to his perseverance, talent, and of course his exceptional sense of humor.
Born in the quiet town of Newmarket, Ontario, Canada, Carrey's early life was far from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. As a young boy, he struggled with dyslexia, an obstacle that made school a challenging endeavor. Yet it was this struggle that sparked his extraordinary ability to see the world from a unique perspective, a trait that would later become a defining feature of his comedic style. Carrey's family wasn't financially well off. In fact, they faced such severe financial difficulties that they had to live in a van for a while. This period of hardship wasn't easy for anyone, but it was during this time that Carrey found an escape in comedy. He would put on performances for his family, transforming the van into a makeshift comedy club. His uncanny ability to make people laugh in the face of adversity was a testament to his remarkable talent. At the tender age of 15, Carrey took his talent to the stage, performing stand-up comedy gigs in local clubs. His impressions of celebrities and unique comedic style quickly caught the attention of audiences. Even though he was still a teenager, his was so impressive that famed comedian Rodney Dangerfield took notice and signed him as an opening act. His big breakthrough came in the early 90s with the sketch comedy show In Living Color. His vibrant performances and the unforgettable characters he portrayed, such as the accident-prone Fire Marshal Bill, won the hearts of viewers across America. The show was a perfect for Carrey to showcase his versatility and extraordinary talent for physical comedy. From there, Carrey's career took off, and he became one of the most sought-after comedic actors in Hollywood. His unique blend of physical comedy and ability to portray a wide range of characters quickly catapulted him into stardom. His journey from a struggling dyslexic kid to one of the most celebrated comedic actors is truly an inspiring tale of resilience, determination, and raw talent. Behind the laughter and the fame, what do we know about Jim Carrey's personal life? Well, the story of Jim Carrey's personal life is as fascinating as his on-screen personas. Known for his high-energy performances and endearing characters, Carrey's off-screen relationships have been equally dynamic, though not always as comedic. Carrey has been married twice. His first marriage was to Melissa Womer, a former waitress, in 1987. Together they had a daughter named Jane Erin Carrey, who was born the same year. The couple, however, parted ways in 1995. His second marriage was to actress Lauren Holly. They wed in 1996, but split less than a year later in 1997. Carrey's love life didn't stop there. The actor dated Renee Zellweger between 1999 and 2000. The two even got engaged, but the relationship eventually came to an end. After Zellweger, Carrey was engaged to model and actress Ginger Gonzaga in 2001. However, this relationship also didn't last. Later, Carrey went on to date Anastasia Vitkina, a Ukrainian pianist, though the duration of their relationship remains unclear. In recent years, Carrey has been fairly private about his personal life. There have been few reports of any serious relationships, suggesting that the legendary comedian has chosen to keep this aspect of his life away from the public eye. His daughter, Jane Erin Carrey, however, has not shied away from the spotlight. She has made a name for herself as a singer, even appearing on the popular television show American Idol. Despite the ups and downs of his personal relationships, Carrey has always been a supportive and proud father. Today it seems that Carrey's focus has shifted away from his romantic relationships. Instead, he's chosen to concentrate on his art and activism, channeling his energy into painting and political advocacy. Despite his fame, Carrey has managed to keep his personal life relatively private, focusing on his art and activism. This shift shows a different side of the man who has made millions laugh, demonstrating his depth and versatility not just as an actor but as a person. Did you know that Jim Carrey is not just an actor and comedian but also a passionate artist and activist? Yes, that's right. When he's not lighting up the screen with his zany antics or heartwarming performances, Carrey spends his time immersed in the world of art. He's an avid painter and sculptor, finding solace and expression through the stroke of a brush or the mold of clay. His love for visual arts has even led him to host art exhibitions, showcasing his creative prowess beyond the realm of Hollywood. But Carrey's ventures don't stop at the canvas. He's also a staunch supporter of various charitable organizations. A notable one among them is the Better You Foundation, which he has championed for its aim to provide education and training in sustainable agriculture for impoverished communities across the globe. Yet it's not just about philanthropy for Carrey. He also uses his platform to voice his opinions on pressing social issues. His political activism has been both applauded and criticized, showing that Carrey is not one to shy away from controversy. He has made headlines for his outspoken views on vaccination safety, a topic that has sparked much debate in recent years. In fact, Carrey often uses his artwork as a means to convey his thoughts on these matters. His paintings serve as his commentary on social issues like climate change and gun control. He shares these expressive pieces on his social media platforms, giving his followers a glimpse into his creative process and his perspective on the world. Through his artistic ventures and activism, Carrey shows us that he is more than just a funny face on screen. He is a man deeply committed to expressing his views, a man who seeks to make a difference in the world, one brushstroke, one statement, one cause at a time. Carrey's artistic and activist endeavors reveal a man deeply committed to expressing his views and making a difference in the world. So, what's next for Jim Carrey? What are his current projects, you may ask? Well, Carrey has been candid about taking a breather from acting to focus on his passions, such as painting and political activism. He uses his art to express his thoughts on societal issues like climate change and gun control, often sharing his creations on Twitter and Instagram. In terms of his acting career, there's a bit of mystery. Back in May of 2020, there were reports about Carrey starring and executive producing a Showtime pilot called K-Gel, a dark comedy about corporate influence seeping into a quaint town. But since then, there hasn't been much news about this project. It could still be in development, or perhaps it didn't quite take off. Then, in August of the same year, Jim Carrey was announced to play Steve Jobs in a biopic by Universal Pictures. But again, there hasn't been much progress on this front. The pandemic's impact on film productions could be a factor, with the project either facing delays or waiting for further development. In October 2020, it was confirmed that Carrey would reprise his role for the sequel of Sonic the Hedgehog, slated for release on April 8, 2022. It's unclear whether he's completed filming his scenes or if there are still ongoing pickups or reshoots. However, we do know that Carrey enjoyed playing Dr. Robotnik and has spoken affectionately about the experience in past interviews. Most tantalizingly, Carrey hinted at a potential return to stand-up comedy during an appearance on The Graham Norton Show back in November 2020. Whether this means he'll go on a comedy tour, record a new special, or participate in sporadic gigs throughout the year remains a mystery. While we may not see him on our screens as frequently, Carrey continues to engage with his fans through his art and activism. It's clear that Carrey is not just a performer, he's a true artist, consistently finding new ways to express himself and connect with his audience. With a career spanning over 3 decades, Jim Carrey has undoubtedly left an indelible mark on Hollywood. From his early beginnings, Carrey's unique blend of physical comedy and dramatic prowess has propelled him to a level of stardom few can rival. His personal life, filled with both love and heartache, has painted a vivid picture of a man who lives as passionately off-screen as he does on. Carrey's artistic ventures and activism are testaments to his multifaceted personality. His love for painting and sculpture has given us all a glimpse into his creative process, while his support for charitable organizations such as the Better You Foundation showcases his philanthropic spirit. His controversial statements on vaccination safety and political activism might have raised a few eyebrows, but they've also sparked important conversations. In recent years, Carrey has been focusing on his own interests, including painting and political activism, using his art to express his thoughts on pressing social issues. His current projects, from the Showtime pilot K-Gel to the much-anticipated sequel of Sonic the Hedgehog, keep fans on their toes, eagerly awaiting his next move. And who knows, We might even see him return to his roots with a stand-up comedy gig. Throughout his career, Carrey has had an undeniable influence on comedy. He has pushed boundaries, challenged norms, and redefined what it means to be a comedic actor. His ability to switch effortlessly between comedy and drama, to make us laugh one moment and cry the next, is a testament to his unparalleled talent. Whether he's lighting up our screens or causing a stir with his art and activism, Jim Carrey continues to captivate audiences around the world. His ongoing impact on the entertainment industry is nothing short of extraordinary. As we look forward to his future projects, we can't help but wonder, what will this multifaceted artist do next? We eagerly wait to see what this unforgettable performer will bring to the stage, the screen, and the canvas next. Thank you, dear viewers, for joining us on this journey through the life and career of the remarkable Jim Carrey. We've laughed, we've pondered, and we've delved into the depths of a truly extraordinary talent. As we sign off, we leave you with the enigma that is Jim Carrey. An artist, an activist, a performer who continues to surprise us at every turn. Just as Carrey's character in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, wasn't afraid to dive headfirst into the unexplored, here at the Truth Chronicles, we take pride in bringing you the unknown, the fascinating, the truly out of the ordinary. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Jim Carrey's world and you're hungry for more, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. And remember, in the words of Ace Ventura himself, I'm not crazy, I'm just ahead of the curve. With that, we bid you farewell until our next video. Who knows what mysteries and marvels await us? Whatever they may be, rest assured we'll be here to deliver them to you. Until then, stay curious, stay engaged, and as always, stay ahead of the curve. See you in the next video.